Good evening. Red Bull team principal Christian Horner wants to talk to the FIA about the cost cap following consecutive races in which his cars have been heavily damaged. Max Verstappen's crash at Silverstone essentially destroyed his car, with Horner estimating the cost of the incident was as $1.8 million. Then both Red Bull drivers were collected in the first lap chaos at the Hungaroring on Sunday, and Horner believes Sergio Perez will also have lost a power unit in the collision with Valtteri Bottas. Horner believes the list of items that come under the cost cap needs to be looked at again now that there is half a season of experience working in such conditions due to the recent repair bills Red Bull has incurred. While Perez could be set for a power unit penalty later in the season, Verstappen is in a similar position. His car used the engine that was in the crash at Silverstone for the first part of the weekend in Budapest, but it was changed on Saturday night due to concerns over its state. Let's do a MDM welcome. Let's welcome Lamborghini to the growing LMDH wars. We have learned that the Italian supercar constructor will become IMSA's sixth LMDH manufacturer after recently greenlighting a factory prototype program. The Lamborghini Squadra Corse effort is primed to debut in 2024 and will have a heavy emphasis on customer integration. Lamborghini will join four publicly confirmed factory efforts from Acura, Audi, BMW, and Porsche in IMSA's top WeatherTech Sports Car Championship class. Cadillac is known to be readying the launch of its LMDH project in approximately 2 weeks, leading into the 24 Hours of Le Mans, where it will become IMSA's fifth official LMDH program. In addition to a multi-car campaign for Lamborghini and IMSA, the FIA World Endurance Championship is also expected to receive multiple entries when the program goes live. Formal confirmation of the Lamborghini Endeavour, which will use the same chassis from Canada's Multimatic that is being built for Volkswagen Group stablemates Audi and Porsche, is said to be on the books for September. By no means a new development, Lamborghini's upcoming participation in LMDH has been heavily anticipated, as the Volkswagen Group were the first to commit to LMDH with signature brands Porsche and Audi. Racer.com understands the strategy has been to establish Audi and Porsche in 2023 and meet all of the chassis supply, engine supply, and infrastructure needs before taking on a third factory effort campaign with Lamborghini in 2024. With the benefit of more than 2 years to find and align with customer teams, Lamborghini Senior Motorsport Manager Chris Ward says completing that task is the last significant hurdle to clear before a public confirmation of Lamborghini's plans would be made. In light of the head start the first 5 LMDH manufacturers have on signing current or new teams to lead the factory programs for the 2023 season, Lamborghini has a supplementary challenge to find teams that are ready, waiting, and capable of facilitating the project. It could lead to partnerships with one or more GT teams. SRO Americas / World Challenge champions K-Pax Racing have been among the rumored options, taking the company founded in 1963 by Ferruccio Lamborghini into its first factory prototype engagement in the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. We're going to take a quick break here, and then we'll be right back with more news from today in the motorsports world. All right, welcome back. Considering he starts last Sunday afternoon at Watkins Glen, by R.C. Enerson's logic, there's nowhere to go but forward in his NASCAR Cup Series debut. Enerson finished 20th in his NASCAR debut last season in the Xfinity Series race at Road America. For Sunday's Go Bowling at the Glen, Enerson will compete in the Cup Series driving Rick Ware Racing's number 15 Chevrolet. Enerson's background is an open wheel. A winner in Indy Lights, Enerson, now 24, attempted to make the Indianapolis 500 earlier this year, but failed to qualify with Top Gun Racing. Enerson said he's always enjoyed watching NASCAR road course events, and it's where he feels the most familiar with experience in the Road to Indy program. Watkins Glen is also not unfamiliar to Enerson, as he finished ninth at the track in his first visit there in 2016 with IndyCar. It was his second start in the series. While Enerson takes part in iRacing, he says he doesn't use it as a tool before a race. He thinks it can give a driver a false sense of reference points and grip because the feeling is only coming through the wheel and pedals and not the driver's body as the sensations of a real car would. Enerson plans to look at onboard cameras to be confident about the course layout in preparation for Sunday. Enerson hopes Watkins Glen will pave the way to more NASCAR opportunities in the future. Team Penske will have the best view of the green flag this weekend at Watkins Glen, with its 3 drivers starting at the front. Brad Keselowski will start from the pole in the Go Bowling at the Glen. Joey Logano will start second, and Ryan Blaney will start third. Kyle Larson will start fourth, and Kevin Harvick starts fifth. Point leader Denny Hamlin starts in sixth. Christopher Bell starts 7th, Eric Almirola 8th, Martin Truex Jr. 9th, and Alex Bowman in 10th. Almirola won the most recent NASCAR Cup Series race at New Hampshire. Kyle Tilley returns to action with Live Fast Motorsports in the number 78 Ford. He starts 33rd. As mentioned before, R.C. Enerson will make his Cup Series debut with Rick Ware Racing in the number 15 Chevy. He starts in last. 37 drivers are entered in Sunday's race. It is the first trip to Watkins Glen in 2 years after NASCAR did not travel to New York in 2020 because of the coronavirus pandemic. Chase Elliott is the 2-time and defending race winner at Watkins Glen. He won in 2018 and 19. NASCAR Cup Series regular Daniel Suarez will make his Trans Am Series debut this weekend, driving the number 75 Wesley Financial Group TA2 Chevy Camaro for Silver Hair Racing at the Big Machine Music City Grand Prix in Nashville, Tennessee. The 29-year-old with roots in karting currently competes full-time in Cup for Trackhouse Racing. The inaugural Music City GP, where Trans Am TA2 cars will run in support of the NTT IndyCar Series, marks the first time a professional racing series will cross a body of water, doing so while traversing the Korean Veterans Memorial Bridge twice per lap. A record-setting 39 TA2 cars will compete for top honors. The Silver Hair Racing crew has been hard at work preparing the cars for the first TA2 street race in 2 years. In addition to Suarez, Silver Hair Racing general manager and driver Michael Self will race the number 7 Sinclair Oil Camaro, alongside series regulars Tyler Casera, who will drive the number 5 Mustang, and Maurice Hall, who will drive the number 57 Camaro. Casera is coming off a podium finish 2 weeks ago at Brainerd. Trans Am returns to CBS Sports Network with a same-day broadcast of the TA2 race on Saturday, August 7th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Storied New Zealand driver and manufacturer Graham McRae has died at the age of 81. A trained engineer, McRae made his initial forays into racing in local sports car events and hill climbs during the 1960s. The 1.5 twin-cam formula in which he competed used old F3 chassis, and after starting out with an aging Brabham, he switched to a self-built McRae National Formula car. He used it to great effect, dominating the 1968 through 69 seasons, and also showing well in the Tasman Series rounds on the tight layout at Leven, where he qualified 1.8 seconds down on Jochen Rindt, despite being 160 horsepower down on power, and came very close to matching the time set by Graham Hill, who was struggling to tame the handling in as low as 49. But it was in Formula 5000 that he made his name. He competed in the European F5000 Championships in 1970 and 71, and finished 6th on both occasions in campaigns peppered with wins and crashes. He fared better elsewhere, securing a hat trick of Tasman Series titles between 1971 and 1973, and also winning the U.S. F5000 crown in 1972 against a field that included David Hobbs and Sam Posey. More strong performances against deep fields followed, but better supported efforts for drivers like James Hunt and Jody Scheckter made it increasingly difficult for McRae to remain a contender at a global level. Also working against him was his reputation for being a handful to deal with, and that, coupled with him being in his early 30s, may have worked against him ever finding a full-time spot in Formula One. He turned down an opportunity to substitute for an unwell Jackie Stewart at the Belgian Grand Prix at Nivelles in 1972, and made what would prove to be his only F1 start for Williams at the British Grand Prix the following year. Despite being saddled with an uncompetitive car, he made a decent start, only to be one of the 9 cars wiped out in an accident on the first lap. That same year, he made a sole appearance at the Indianapolis 500, qualifying on the inside of the 5th row in his Eagle Offie and completing 91 laps of the rain-shortened race before dropping out with a broken header. He was still classified 16th and claimed Rookie of the Year honors. Lack of funding hampered his later years, although he managed to add a 5th F5000 title to his resume when he won the 1978 Australian Drivers' Championship. McRae's main impact as a manufacturer came in the form of the McRae GM1, which was designed with the help of Malcolm Bridgeland and F1 designer Len Terry. 14 examples were made, many of which continue to race in F5000 events in New Zealand today. McRae himself claimed Australian GP victories in the GM1 at Sandown in 1972, 73, and 78. And while most major motorsports hit pause for the Tokyo Olympics, Formula One took center stage last weekend and continued its 2021 success story in the U.S. TV audience, putting up similar numbers on ESPN to what it has been getting all season. Sunday's Hungarian Grand Prix on ESPN averaged a 0.6 Nielsen rating and 964,000 viewers. That's the highest ever rating for this event, which last year garnered a 0.4 rating last year and 703,000 viewers on ESPN, and a tick ahead of the season average of 946,000, according to the network. And that's our report on MDM tonight. For everybody at MDM Racing, I'm Matthew Merlino, and good night.